We already know a bit about meshes, we know about textures, but let's just refresh us and let's talk about it a little bit more. There are different ways that a texture can draw. The obvious way to shade a thing is to render the texture with basic lighting, but what if we want to do it differently? Here are some options, incidentally. Make it glow, make it shine, make it transparent or bumpy, assign a shader and a texture to get what you're after. Perhaps write the shader if you're a master. Material is a collection of things, some textures, some settings, a shader it brings, or the things that are needed to define a surface. Together it groups them into one place. We'll talk about shaders in detail later, but now let's look at the four main types: the opaque, emissive, transparent, and cutout. These are the ones that you really must know about. Opaque shaders shade with lighting. It draws things faster than the others because it's writing to the depth buffer, reducing overdrawing, so use this type if you can for most things. Emissive shaders don't need light, they glow and are useful for drawing sprites. Cutout shaders let you cut out pixels, kind of like masking, they shouldn't cause issues. Transparent shaders don't use a depth buffer, this means that when you draw them, they might not draw in order. Don't use it unless you really must, to be blunt. Things might get drawn back to front. Make it glow, make it shine, make it transparent or bumpy, assign a shader and a texture to get what you're after. Perhaps write the shader if you're a master. Now let's talk a bit more about shaders. They're the code the materials used to decide on the color to use for each pixel of the mesh when it's rendered to the screen. That's all. Shaders are built from two main parts. The vertex shader, it operates on verts. It calculates how to transform each vertex from model space into screen. The next part to discuss is the pixel shader, which defines the color of the pixel. It uses the UV coordinates along with the texture and lighting to calculate your final color, which it sends to the screen. All the pixels together make up your scene. Make it glow, make it shine, make it transparent or bumpy, assign a shader and a texture to get what you're after. Perhaps write the shader if you're a master.